But the moment they need help with a job, a loan, a favor, they suddenly remember your number. And they'll call it love, but love doesn't just dial when it's desperate. Love remains. Real connection doesn't flicker like a light switch when convenient. Even in the workplace, this pattern plays out. That one co-worker who never speaks, never supports. But when they're about to miss a deadline, they flatter you with phrases like, "You're so smart. Can you help me real quick?" And you think, maybe this is genuine. It's not. It's survival disguised as sincerity. They don't value your mind, they exploit it. And what hurts the most is when this pattern appears in relationships, the romantic kind. You think you found love, but really, you've become their backup plan, their therapist, their filler until something better comes along. They only text when they're bored. They only want to see you when they're lonely. They only speak of love when they're in need. And the rest of the time, you're invisible, forgotten, benched like a spare option in a game you never agreed to play. And you keep showing up, you keep giving, you keep hoping this time they're sincere. But every time, the cycle repeats. And every time, your soul loses a little more color. Until one day, you realize you're not being loved. You're being used with manners. And just because someone says, please, and thank you, doesn't mean their heart is pure. You need to protect your energy. You need to draw lines so clear, even blurred souls can't cross them. Because being kind doesn't mean being blind. Loyalty is a two-way street, not a revolving door where people enter only when their world collapses. And your worth is not measured by how much you can offer. It's measured by who stays when you have nothing to give. People who love you for real, they don't just need you, they choose you daily. Even when you're not useful, even when you're not at your best. Because to them, your presence is not a service, it's a gift. If they're comfortable gossiping to you, they're definitely gossiping about you. Don't fool yourself. Someone who carries everyone's secrets to your ears is also carrying your secrets to someone else's. It doesn't matter how close you think you are. Gossip is not loyalty. It's entertainment wrapped in betrayal. And the person who constantly speaks negatively about others behind their back is only showing you a preview of how they'll treat you when you're not around. Have you ever been around someone who starts every conversation with, "Did you hear what she did?" Or, "Don't tell anyone, but..." That's your first red flag. They never talk about dreams or growth or purpose, only about people, their flaws, their failures, their pain. And you sit there listening, half amused, half uncomfortable. But deep down, a voice in you whispers, if this is how they speak about others, how do they speak about me when I'm not here? And that voice is right. I remember a girl in my circle who knew everything about everyone. She always had a fresh story. Who broke up with whom? Who failed what exam? Who got fired? Who got surgery? It seemed like harmless chatter at first, until one day someone came to me repeating my own words. Words I had only spoken to her. That's when I realized her loyalty was a performance and I was just the next episode. It's not just in friendships. You'll find this in families too. That one relative who sits at every gathering, smiling and nodding, only to leave and twist everyone's words. They thrive on conflict. They enjoy watching people argue over things they never actually said. They don't solve problems, they multiply them. And somehow they're always innocent, always just passing information. But truthfully, they're planting poison, one whisper at a time. In workplaces, it's just as dangerous. That colleague who pretends to be your ally, but spends their breaks talking about how unprofessional someone else is. They complain about the manager, mock the intern, and question everyone's competence. At first, it feels like bonding, but later you'll realize it's a trap, because you've unknowingly been pulled into a cycle of toxicity. And when you're not there, you become the topic. The same laughter they used for others will be aimed at your name. And relationships, oh, it gets darker. Imagine dating someone who always trashes their exes, talks about how crazy they were, how toxic, how ungrateful. You might think, wow, poor them. But pause. If every ex is the villain and they're always the victim, are you really that blind? One day, when you decide to walk away, your name will be added to that same list. Because for some people, gossip isn't a slip, it's a strategy. You need to understand something powerful. Words are windows. They show you what's in someone's heart. A person who enjoys dragging others down can never lift you up. A soul that feasts on rumor cannot nourish love. The same mouth that speaks sweetly to your face can curse your spirit in your absence. And no, it's not just harmless talk. Gossip kills reputations. It shatters trust. It destroys peace. And if you sit silently beside it, laughing, nodding, feeding it, you're not innocent. You become a silent accomplice in someone else's humiliation. That's how negativity spreads, not by fire, but by whispers. Protect your energy. Choose people who speak life, not lies. People who mention your name in rooms full of opportunity, not controversy. The ones who defend you when you're not there and correct you with love when you are. Because real ones don't gossip, they guard. They don't whisper behind your back. They walk beside your truth. Sometimes silence is louder than applause, and it hits hardest when it comes from those you thought would be cheering the loudest. Your success makes them silent, not proud. That's how you know who truly roots for you and who only tolerates you when you're beneath them. Because some people love you more when you're struggling. They feel big when you're small. They feel needed when you're lost. But the moment you rise, something shifts. Their smile fades. Their calls lessen. Their compliments turn cold. That's not coincidence. It's emotional truth unfolding in silence. Have you ever achieved something beautiful? A job promotion, a personal breakthrough, a new relationship, and you're glowing, excited, full of joy, but the people you expected to celebrate with barely react. No, I'm proud of you. No, you deserve this. Just a hollow, oh, that's cool, and a change of topic. They don't even ask questions. They don't dive into your joy. Instead, they shrink into awkwardness like your growth exposes something uncomfortable in them. That's when you realize your win didn't disappoint them, it threatened them. I remember a friend I once considered a sister. We were inseparable, both chasing our dreams, both stuck in similar struggles. But the moment I started catching breaks, my work took off, my name started circulating, her energy turned ice cold. No more calls. No more. Let's celebrate. When I finally asked her why, she said, "You just seem so busy now living your new life." But what she meant was, I can't clap for a life I secretly envied. In families, it cuts even deeper. You finally break a generational curse. You get a degree no one else did. You travel the world. You build a business. And the house is silent. They'll tell your siblings, your cousins, don't let success change you. As if growth is arrogance. As if confidence is betrayal. They won't share your achievements, but they'll replay your mistakes like a broken record because your success reminds them of the dreams they gave up on. And instead of healing, they choose to hate. At work, you'll notice the same pattern. You stay late, give your all, deliver something extraordinary, and your team barely blinks. But make one mistake, and they talk about it for weeks. Because some people aren't built to see others rise. They only support you when you're average, because your excellence makes them uncomfortable. It's not that you changed. It's that your elevation exposed their stagnation. Even in love, this truth hits hard. You meet someone who claims to believe in you. They support your hustle in words. But once you start winning, they pull away. They say things like, "You don't need me anymore." Or worse, "You're too focused on your goals." What they really mean is, "I liked you better when you doubted yourself, when you needed me to feel powerful. But now that you've discovered your light, they can't dim it, so they distance themselves instead." You must remember, people who love you truly are not intimidated by your glow. They are illuminated by it. They don't go silent when you rise. They rise with you. They post about your wins, speak your name in rooms you're not in, and pour fuel on your fire without fear of getting overshadowed. Because real love doesn't shrink in the presence of greatness. It stands taller beside it. And when people fall silent in your moments of triumph, don't chase their cheers. Don't beg for applause from the shadows. Instead, smile. Because their silence is your spotlight. Their discomfort is your confirmation. You were never meant to be dim just to keep others comfortable. Your success isn't arrogance. It's evidence of the storm you survived. And if that makes them uncomfortable, let them sit in their silence while you rise in your power. Look around you, not everyone clapping is your fan, and not every hug is filled with love. The truth is, life will introduce you to two kinds of people, those who help you build your empire, and those who silently hope it crumbles. And your job, your divine responsibility, is not to carry everyone with you. It's to carry yourself with grace, discernment, and unshakable power. Because not everyone deserves access to the kingdom you're building. Some people were only meant to be spectators, not participants. The older you get, the more you'll realize a peace is more expensive than popularity. Energy is more sacred than approval. And protecting your heart isn't selfish, it's survival. You are not obligated to keep people in your life just because of history. Loyalty to your future must be louder than your attachment to the past. If their presence costs you your peace, your growth, your joy, then it's time to let them go with love and without apology. You owe no one a seat in your life who brings nothing but confusion to your mind and chaos to your spirit. If their words soothe you, but their actions betray you, if their smiles comfort you, but their energy suffocates you, then listen to the one voice that's never lied, your intuition. Because your intuition isn't just a feeling, it's the language of your soul. When it whispers, they're not for you. Don't wait for the storm to confirm what the silence already told you. Let the world call you arrogant. Let them say you've changed, because growth will offend those who stayed stagnant. Confidence will irritate those addicted to your insecurity. And boundaries will anger those who once benefited from your lack of them. But guess what? You were not born to stay small just to fit inside their fragile comfort zones. You were born to expand, to rise, to become a storm wrapped in elegance. You don't need everyone to understand you. You just need to understand this. When you stop watering dead relationships, your soul starts to bloom. When you stop trying to explain your worth to the blind, your light becomes undeniable. And when you stop inviting demons to your table, you finally dine in peace. Sometimes the greatest power move is silence. Not revenge, not explanation. Just glowing up so brightly that it burns every false friend who tried to dim your fire. Success is the best response. Peace is the loudest clapback. And distance is the cleanest cut. As the great Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. And as Oprah taught the world, you become what you believe. So stop believing you need to fix people. Start believing you need to protect your energy at all costs. Let the gossips talk. Let the fakes fall away. Let the ones who can't clap for you disappear into their own shadows. Because when you shine, you don't ask permission. You just glow. As Michelle Obama once said, when they go low, we go high. But sometimes going high means going alone. Sometimes healing means walking away with your head high, heart open, and soul untouchable. You are not here to shrink for the comfort of those who can't see your worth. You are here to shine in a world that tried to convince you you're too much, too loud, too strong, too bold. But too much for the wrong people is exactly right for your destiny. Never apologize for evolving. Never dim your brilliance for background characters. And never forget, your journey is not to convince people to stay. It's to become so aligned, so grounded, so magnetic that only the real ones can find you, see you, and rise with you. So close the doors gently, walk away quietly, and build your kingdom like the royalty you were born to be. Because when the wrong people leave your life, the right energy finally enters. And that is where your real power begins.